The Pats went to sleep last night. Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to Phillies Hot Stove Bean to cheer cap of last night's game between the 5th Phillies and the Atlanta Braves as the Phillies lose 3-0 to the Braves as they get handed their first loss in the postseason here in 2022. As unfortunately, the Atlanta Braves do even up this National League Division Series at one apiece. I guess before we get into this video, please subscribe if you have not yet. Please turn on that notification bell. Please like this video, comment on this video, share this video, and let's get into this. This is a game that could have and should have been won. I have to be honest here for a second. The Phillies offense was just absolutely mowed down. Of course, we had a few opportunities earlier in the ball game, and we came up short. So, shame on this team. Looked like the Joe Girardi Phillies is a totally just lifeless performance. And we didn't have our heads in the game. Rhys Hoskins totally missed playing a ball at first base, letting it get by him. He's not a big game player. Anytime we've really needed this guy to play well, whether that's at the plate, defensively, he's never really come through for us. So he's just not a big game player. He just folds under pressure. So he's been extremely disappointing. I'm also just so disappointed in Kyle Schwarber. He has just been absolutely void. This whole entire postseason, he's had a hitless postseason. He hasn't done anything. He's been extremely disappointing. Nick Castellanos also bailing on a ball in foul territory that he could have caught. He looked away at the last second. Of course, he was going to bang into the wall anyway. What do you have to lose by catching that baseball? So he was kind of disappointing last night. I mean, he had such a big game, the first game of this series, and he didn't do anything last night. But here, you hear me out for a second. I put this on my story last night, and I'm going to say it again on here because I think it's really important. We went into this, first two games of the series at Truist Park, and I said that the Phillies could just win one of these two games and head back up to Citizens Bank Park. They're going to be in a very good position. That's what they did. And of course, when they won the first game of the series, you got a little bit greedy. You say, hey, Zach Wheeler is on the mound for game 2. You got to win that one too. And unfortunately, they didn't do that. But you have to remember what the ultimate goal was going in. Hey, win at least 1 out of 2, and you're going to be in a pretty good position. Well, guess what? They did just that. And now they're going to be most likely going against a guy that they absolutely destroyed in Charlie Morton at Citizens Bank Park. And this Phillies team has played the Braves pretty well at CBP. So that gives me a lot of hope. And unfortunately, the series is now tied up at 1, which I'm very disappointed about. At least a really good Zach Wheeler start last night. And unfortunately, Kyle Wright was just better. But honestly, I don't know. That was just such a frustrating game to watch. I mean, these announcers were horrible. I don't know why in the world John Smoltz was put on this crew. It's just like, it's ridiculous. Of course he wants the Braves to win, but why is he there? Why is he there? And of course, the play-by-play announcer is the Los Angeles Dodgers play-by-play announcer. He's terrible. His voice is just very annoying. I'm just not a fan of this guy at all. Not a fan. So pick up the scoring summary here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Matt Olson singles on a sharp ground ball to right field. That's a ball that Rhys Hoskins missed. And shame on him for not getting that. I understand that's not an easy play, but that's why he's paid millions of dollars to make the tough plays. As Ronald Acuna Jr. Unfortunately comes around and scores as the Braves now lead at 1-0. So, of course, Acuna was hitting the elbow, and the game stopped for like 3 minutes, at least 3 minutes. And when Acuna Jr. was hitting the elbow, I said, I don't have a good feeling. I think the Braves are going to do something big here. And sure enough, Matt Olson delivers the go-ahead RBI single to make it 1-0. So the Braves got on the board first off of Zach Wheeler, and they just had momentum. I was starting to get really nervous. So let me pick it up here in the same inning. Austin Riley hits a ground ball, little tapper up the third base line, and everybody is safe as Dansby Swanson crosses the plate. And it's now 2-0 Atlanta. So, I mean, it just was one of those innings. It was one of those innings. You have that ground ball that Rhys Hoskins should have got. Then you have this little weak tapper that unfortunately just was just very well placed. So you're thinking like, oh my goodness. This is sometimes the way the game goes, and it can be extremely frustrating when it doesn't go your way. So 2-0 Braves. Let me pick it up here in the same inning. Travis d'Arnaud singles inning ground ball to center field. Shankly was ahead of the count. Couldn't finish off this guy. I just think he was rattled. I just think they were starting to get to him a little bit, unfortunately, as Matt Olson crosses the plate, and it's now 3-0 Atlanta. So I knew, I'm like, ball game over, feels like a loss. It is over. I mean, the Phillies offense was just absolutely showing no fight at all, and I just got the vibes in here. As I said, if you watch this team long enough, eventually you just develop a sixth sense about what they're going to do. So sure enough, that would be your final 3-0 Atlantis. Unfortunately, they take the second game of this series and even it up at 1 apiece. But the Phillies are going back to Citizens Bank Park. Of course, they're going to be playing 2 games there, and the 5th game, if necessary, at Truist Park once again. And Kyle Schwarber out of the leadoff spot, another hitless performance, 3 strikeouts. First, his home plate umpire, I mean, it seems like they're all terrible. It doesn't matter who's back there, they're just absolutely horrible. His home plate umpire was not good last night. Of course, they got rid of the little box, where the strike zone is. Just maybe to try to make the umpire not look bad. Just Major League Baseball does such manipulators. Kyle Schwarber remains hitless in this postseason. He is yet to collect a hit. Not even a single. I mean, my goodness gracious. And Rhys Hoskins with a hitless performance last night, batting .056. I mean, just like, this guy is a lightweight at times. I really do believe that, and I hate to say that because Rhys Hoskins, I believe, is a very, very good person. I think he's a good player in a lot of ways, but he's just a lightweight sometimes. In the playoffs, and what has he really done? All he's done is just hit a double. That's it. That's all he's done. And he really hasn't been playing that great at first base. So, very disappointing in Rhys Hoskins. Again, I think he's a really good human being, a really good person, but I've just been very disappointed in his playing ability. And JT Muto gets a start out of the 3-hole, and collects the knock last night as well. Of course, he's batting .200 here in the postseason, and Bryce Harper only one hit, but it was that double. Down the left field line. Of course, we just stranded him on base, right? Of course, he would move up to third. He was on third with 1 out, and we couldn't get him home. So shame on the Phils for not being able to do that. And Nick Castellanos with a hitless performance last night after having a big day the day before. And Alec Bohm also goes hitless last night as well. Not much out of him. And Brandon Marsh gets to start out in the center and goes hitless, but he was able to draw a walk. Matt Feeling was eventually put in for Brandon Marsh, and Gene Segura collected knock last night as well, also went down strikes once, and Bryson Stott gets a start at short and bats ninth and goes hitless as well. So the Phillies only collect 3 hits. Of course, they get shut out, and they strike out 8 times as a team, and only walk once. So just a lot of pop-ups, not a lot of solid contact. We were not really hitting this guy very hard, especially towards the end. I mean, we were crushing the ball there for a little while, but especially towards the end of Kyle Wright's start, we were just not hitting the ball well. And I just hate when we get dominated against. I cannot stand it. It is horrible to watch. Just mow down. And honestly, these announcers were just so pro-Braves. It was just driving me crazy. Every word that just came out of their mouth was, of course, this guy's 5 for 10 against Wheeler. Oh my gosh, this guy's a home run against Wheeler. Oh my gosh, this guy got a double in 2019 off of Zach Lear. It just was anything they could say. I didn't hear that when the Phillies were facing Kyle Wright, partly because he just absolutely dominates us, but just everything was how the Braves could beat Zach Lear. I just got really tired of hearing it. It's just absolutely ridiculous. So there's such bias with, that's in this announcer. He just seems so excited anytime the Braves did anything. Zach Lear, 6 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, all 3 were earned, 1 walk and 5 strikeouts, a 2.19 ERA. Unfortunately, he gets smacked with a loss now, 0-1 on the year. He just fell apart. As I said, it's just something about hitting Acuna Jr. just rattled him. Of course, the Braves fans were booing. I mean, oh yeah, like he's going to hit Ronald Acuna Jr. on purpose, when he's absolutely dominating. I mean, that makes a lot of sense. That is just ridiculous. Why in the world would Zach Lear do that? That just makes no sense at all. Obviously, it wasn't on purpose. But Zach Lear, I mean, still, he had a lot of control of his pitches, leading up to. I'm really have a bad taste in my mouth about this team. I hate sloppy play. I can't stand how Rhys Hoskins totally botched that ball on first base. I can't stand Nick Castellanos totally bailing out on that foul ball in right field and foul territory. I can't stand it. I can't stand plays like that. Get your head in the game. Play the game the right way. And Angelotti, a nice 1-2-3, bottom of the 7th inning, and Noah Syndergaard comes in relief in the bottom of the 8th inning. He gets the job done, walking 1 and striking out 1 as well. This Phillies pitching staff collects 6 strikeouts, walks 2, and of course allows 3 earned. So Rhys Hoskins is very lucky that botch ball at first base was not marked down as an error. So it wasn't. But it's an error in my mind. I mean, that's a ball you at least have to knock down. Of course, we got an off day today, and this game was originally supposed to be scheduled for 4:30 yesterday, and then, of course, it was delayed. A lot of rain in the Atlanta, Georgia area. Of course, the Braves are the better team here, and that doesn't always mean that they're going to, win and, move on to the next round. as I said, in 2019, I really don't believe that the Dodgers were the better team over the Los Angeles Dodgers. I just don't. And also, you go take a look at this year. I do not believe that the San Diego Padres were a better team than the New York Mets. I just don't. It's not always the case that the better team always wins. I mean, that's why they have the playoffs. That's why they had the playoffs. And, you know, we always use the phrase, anything can happen in the playoffs. If you just get in, anything can happen. So hopefully that's what happens here. I mean, we really, really need, to step our game up. We need more offense. And the thing that really, really bothers me is we didn't lose to start the Ranger Suarez, pitch, but we lost to start where our number one guy went out there and really, really pitched his butt off, and we didn't give him any run support. And yes, I understand he wasn't very good in that sixth inning. I completely understand, and you don't have to remind me because I know. And partly I believe that was just because it just kept lingering on because his defense didn't have his back. Just didn't have his back. But I do agree that he did somewhat lose control there in the bottom of the sixth inning, and especially in that Travis d'Arnaud RBI single. Just things started to kind of unravel for Zach Wheeler there, and it just was very unfortunate. It was very, very, sad to watch, especially, we all know how good he is, and it just was just very, very frustrating. So the San Diego Padres defeat the Los Angeles Dodgers by a final score of 5-3 yesterday. Of course, the Dodgers did take the first game of the series out there in LA, and then the Padres come back and even the series out. So that's very good news. Of course, we want all the underdogs to win. The Seattle Mariners face the Houston Astros for the second game of that series. Of course, the Astros just absolutely came back and destroyed the Mariners. The Mariners had a huge lead, and they absolutely choked in that one. If you're a Mariners fan, I mean, that just had to be absolutely brutal. And, of course, the Cleveland Guardians and the New York Yankees will battle it out at 7:37, the first pitch tonight in New York. Bieber versus Cortez. So that's going to be very interesting as well. Of course, the Yankees did take the first game of that series. So as I said, we're all rooting for the underdogs because that's going to help the Phillies. That is going to help the Phillies. So I'm surprised to see the Padres win last night, but guess what? They did. Now they're going back to Petco. So hopefully the Padres can do well there. I'm very, very glad we get a day off today to kind of mentally rest up, and hopefully Aaron Nola is dynamite. I'm not worried about Aaron Nola. I'm not worried about Aaron Nola. I'm worried about this offense. I'm worried about this defense, and I'm worried about how we are going to play the game. We're going to play smart baseball, and that's a big concern on my mind. And it's kind of sad that I have to worry about that. It's kind of sad. A team that's in the playoffs, you think that they would have that down by now, but seemingly not. So very, very disappointing. So 4:37, the first pitch tomorrow afternoon. Aaron Nola, 11-13 with a 3.25 ERA. So I think we're going to get another great Aaron Nola. I mean, he's had a week of rest. He does pretty well against the Braves, especially at Citizens Bank Park. First time we're seeing playoff baseball in Philly at the bank since October 7th of 2011. So just think about that. Of course, that was the final game, of us in the postseason when Ryan Howard tore his Achilles against the St. Louis Cardinals. That was just absolutely brutal. We all know that. So guys, thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe if you haven't yet. Please turn on that notification bell. Please like this video, comment on this video, share this video. Check out the social media link in the description section at Phillies, Hotstove Media, Instagram. Follow me on Twitter at Hotstove Media. Card text 267-225-5292. Email at phillieshotstovemedia@gmail.com. So guys, thanks so much for watching. I'm moving. I'll talk to you later. Let's go Phillies. See you guys.